because, you know, Randy was very famous for his fish tank or a fish bowl, whatever it is. So I thought maybe a little bit like a tribute to all of his work, because many of the things that we have, it's you know, Randy's work, Vivian's work, Ilona's work, and that entire team. So
it's
with
the
this,
Anna, let's just remind everyone, the goldfish is for its attention span. Goldfish is famous for having like a very limited attention span. I forget what it is, but the human attention span is even shorter nowadays by most measurements. So it's all about capturing their focus and not letting it divert elsewhere.
there you go. Thank you, boss.
Sure.
I didn't know that. I thought it's more about, like, you know, being in a fish pond versus being outside. So I had totally different philosophy, but now I know.
that might work too.
So anyway, so please treat this presentation as more of an overview, kind of like, this is where we take over from Randy, and this is where we're gonna continue some of the projects. We're gonna continue some of them. We will update. And take it to a little bit different level. So I'll give a little bit more overview later on. So.
Yeah. Thank you. This is Eileen. Thank you,
Hey,
Eldon and Anna.
Eileen.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for your presentation. It was very helpful to, how it's going with the Broxer product. So as a production, I will be, working closely with the restart doctor and the new doctor, and follow with the retention team, how to maintain, those doctor as a business.
Very good, Eileen. I actually was showing some of the one of the campaigns that we did last year, and I have a meeting with Doug's team. Now this reminds me that I still didn't schedule it, but I will schedule it with Doug's retention team, so we can go over. We can go over and make sure we are aligned. So that's coming. Hopefully next week I will be on. I will be going away to New York at the end of the week. So, but back next week. So I'll be.
Thank you.
I'll be catching you.
But let's keep in touch. Thank you.
Going to the preventive care portfolio. So the notable effort for Q4 was a selection of a new spokesperson for the Silent Night, and this is actually a good opportunity to also explain that Dr. Diana Batoon will also be a spokesperson for New West. So I'm sure Ashley will be talking about that. For the labs portfolio, but with Dr. Batoon, we are only focusing on Silent Night, and I'll explain later why we are doing that, why her, and why we are doing that. It's not only that she's a guiding leader, that too, but she actually is a sleep expert. She's on the board of sleep organizations and her practice, and she has enormous experience as general practitioner, so crown and bridge dentist who successfully is able to implement sleep. So it is very different, but I don't want to spoil more. Let me just continue and then we'll go more. So the reason why I wanted to highlight Comfort 3D, there are a few reasons, but one of them is that this product is a very good example of what happens when lab ops, marketing are aligned, and R&D too, the three of us, when we are aligned. So this product is actually, that's a proof of that success. Why? Because the market trends we see, I mentioned 50% of Glidewell doctors as of 2022 who prescribe Braxer are digital. For Comfort 3D, that number is really high. So if you take a look, 75% of all Braxer, of all Comfort 3D doctors are digital doctors. So it just tells you the product is kind of like the product goes with the market trend, where we will see more and more of this. Another reason why I'm showing you this is because since the inception of this product, we put a lot of marketing dollars behind it. Just to give you an overview, we launched it in 2020. So from that time, we spent over $2 million on marketing this product. And seeing just $6 million, seeing $6 million revenue just last year it makes all of us really smile. You can also see that being a night guard for just 2 years, it already accounts for 12% of ByteSprint's portfolio, which when we go to the KPIs, you will see that this is a massive portfolio, not massive when it comes to sales, but massive when it comes to accounts. And then about 20% of all Glidewell customers currently, currently actually as of 2022, so that's the data that I put, that I took at the end of 2022, prescribed Comfort 3D. And with this, I also wanted to go to the challenges. So again, what I was saying, a similar thing that I was saying for when I was showing this for Braxer, right? You can see we put huge marketing initiative to boost the products, but when you see and look at the campaign, it's just like one new restart, one restart, and merely 40,000 from sales when we look at this like that. The rationale for this, of course, is again the same thing, that Comfort 3D, and we see that even more and more because 75% of dentists are digital dentists. So even though we have and we target them with our offers, we won't likely see them being able to redeem those offers as of now. So for the preventive care portfolio as of now, and this will change, so just if you don't see other products on it, please do not feel abandoned. This will change, but as of now, the biggest focus for us are ByteSprints, because they are the key driver for new, restart, and for cross-sell. NTI will get way more attention because it's such a unique product, and there are only 2 other labs in the market that offer it. And then for the sleep family, this is what we currently do. So we have two campaigns. We will be slightly restructuring that, and I will show in a moment how. But just to give you a little bit of an overview of the 4 campaigns. So we have 3 dedicated campaigns, one to each of the night guards. So one campaign for Comfort Hard Soft, which is our largest night guard, largest vertical, our Clear Sprint, which is the second largest, and Comfort 3D, that's the newest one. And then we have a campaign that brings the 3 of them, 3 most popular night guards, and that's top 3 night guards. So as you can see, this is this campaign, the top 3 night guards campaign. We like it a lot because it helps us drives more accounts to all 3 night guards. And then when we look at specifically at the performance and channels for this particular campaign, so you've heard me saying for Braxer, most of the most effective channels were emails, about 80%, 70-80%. For some, it was staffers. For top 3 night guards campaign, our most effective channel is RX book. So the reason why I wanted to say is, we hear that RX books are bad. We shouldn't be doing this. The acquisition cost is like out of the roof. To some extent, it is, I'm sure, probably true. And so RX books are not for everybody, not for every product, but particularly we see it being successful for the night guard. So what that means for 2023, that we will continue them. And RX books specifically brought 70% of sales and accounts to the ByteSprints portfolio. And the second most popular were staffers. So those are our everyday low prices, clinical twin pack, no discounts. Comfort 3D, I've already mentioned. So we keep honing the messaging of 3D printed, so the digital focus, and also highlighting that this is a hard ByteSprints, because when we studied RXs, we see the doctors request hard ByteSprints. So this, as of now, this messaging is perfect. Doesn't need any further refinements at this point. And then we have two campaigns that are, as of now, they are more of internal campaigns. So they are designed for restarts and for new to products. So that's Comfort Hard Soft and the Clear Splint. However, for the first time this year, we will also be putting Comfort Hard Soft emails to third party, and we're gonna see what happens with that. But Peter and Lee, if you are on this call, do not think that we don't have two of these night guards on showing them to third party. We actually do, and that's on the top 3 night guards campaign. But this year, for the first time, we're gonna try Comfort Hard Soft individually and see how that's gonna work. Then moving right along to the migraine prevention and sleep campaign, or as Randy would call them, sleep and headache campaigns. Specifically for the two campaigns, we had two sleep focused campaigns. So one when we had the sleep family of products, so the top 4 products in our portfolio, and then the other one focused on just Silent Night. Then we have a very nice little campaign for NTI, which will be taking to the next level. So you will see more dedicated emails to specifically to NTI. You will also start seeing third-party ads also dedicated to NTI. As of now, so as you can probably see, like me presenting and Keith will be presenting and Ashley, each of us has a we of course are responsible for the hard KPIs, right? Sales, restarts, new, cross-sell. But within all of this, we also want to allow for a level on the individualization and trying different concepts, right? So you see Braxer is more testimonial focused, implants is more clinical and has longer content. For sleep, we see more like a block squares. So we want to keep it that way, but we want to make it like add better call to actions or better call to actions with specific offers. That's something that we are currently working with finance on. So you will see improvements to those emails, but we will still keep the character to let it run and basically watch and see how they perform, and if with the additional improvements on the emails, and also building landing pages for these campaigns, because these campaigns don't have dedicated landing pages yet. So we think we're gonna see better results. And then similarly for sleep, hold on a second, did I talk about NTI? Oh, for the NTI, some of you might have heard that NTI is just another night guard, or it's a night guard, right? Because if you look at it, look at the picture on the staffer, it looks like just 2 night guards put together. But that's not the whole story. NTI is not just a night guard. NTI is the only FDA-approved oral appliance that's clinically proven to reduce migraine and headaches. So unlike for our bite splints with NTI, we actually have a clinical research to prove the efficacy of the product. So that's why we are very interested in this product. Plus, NTI is digital, so you see a resemblance to Comfort 3D. In the past years, we've done staffers and emails, so that was mainly internal products. And we actually see, this is the only product that I see 90% of sales and accounts came from staffers, so that's actually very interesting. And then 10% came from emails. So we'll see if after better retargeting and adding, changing the headlines, ditch the clenching and tooth wear, which is not very unique to NTI, but focusing on what the product really does, and adding offers. So if we're gonna see an improvement, so I'll keep reporting on that. For sleep, this is one of our sleep campaigns. this campaign is focused on the top four products, and this one also was primarily sent to the existing doctors, and then we kind of see the same results, very similar to NTI. So 90% of sales and accounts for staff came from staffers, and 10% came from emails. And then looking at Silent Night, so this is so in the past this campaign was 100% for prospecting. So you can see the third-party email and the third-party ads, and this is where we are going to make the change. So as you can see, if you can look and read on the screen, you see that Dr. Eli is an orofacial pain and pain specialist. And when you look at the breakdown of dental specialties and accounts in United States, you will see that of the 100, it looks like 160 members, about 80% are general practitioners, and the numbers of orofacial and pain specialists as of 2021 is 25. So when you have a product like Silent Night, that supposedly be a intro product to the family, to the sleep family, and when we have a clinical spokesperson that's a high level of specialist, then we think that perhaps this is where Dr. Batoon can help, because she is actually a general practitioner who was able to successfully implement sleep appliance into her practice. So this is the reason why we will be saying goodbye to Dr. Eli as a clinical spokesperson for sleep for Silent Night, and saying hello to Dr. Batoon. And for the key initiatives for Q1, so there will obviously more. Dave, we did not forget about the extra staffers that we have. They are on the brand plan, they're just not key initiative for us. So for the sleep portfolio in particular, our key takeaway is basically a portfolio revamp. So we are already doing risk segmentation, improve targeting, incorporating offers for new and restart customers, and also improving messaging for the specific audience. Like I mentioned, specifically for NTI, focus on migraine prevention, and for sleep appliance as being the absolutely basic, simple sleep appliance that's applicable to general practitioners. For most of us, we are engaged responsible for symposia at some time of the year, and this comes for sleep quite quickly. We will have a sleep symposium in April. We are also in the process of launching a new tap appliance that will be added to our family and become the fourth focus product for our sleep portfolio. We are also relaunching Silent 9 with Glidewell Hinge. So as many have heard Randy saying, PDAC is the organization or approved body that helps get Medicare reimbursement. So Silent 9 with Glidewell Hinge is PDAC approved, so having it reintroduced now with improved geometry of the hinge should help us get more sleep doctors, and actually more doctors who do the medical billing versus dental. And then similarly to what we are doing, we'll be doing for Braxer. We don't have that many really post-webinar opportunities for the sleep, but nevertheless, there are some. So we will be also taking advantage of that opportunity. And now to give you a little bit more visibility to what does it mean to revamp a portfolio, in addition to mention what we mentioned with the messaging. So if you recall, about 25% of Braxer dentists prescribe 1 to 5 appliance. Now, when you look at the sleep appliances, it's a completely different story. So it's about 90% of doctors, of sleep doctors, prescribe 1 appliance per year, up to 1 per quarter. So this is our opportunity to get a little bit more share of wallet from these doctors. So this is where this is kind of what we mean by this is where we need a little bit better segmentation, targeting, offers, and messaging. So we will be targeting this 90%, about 90% of dentists, specifically with Silent Night, because, and that's again where Dr. Batun will be very helpful. Then we have a very small group of doctors that are sort of like intermediate and advanced sleep dentists. So this is where we can show them the sleep family doctors. NTI, I've mentioned, this will be our probably most important initiative for this portfolio. And then, because as you can see, sleep creates an excellent opportunity to cross-sell with bite splints, with Braxer, of course, and some other products, because we are focusing on general practitioners. So going into KPIs, I wanted to take the same approach that we did for Braxer. So basically show you the preventive care portfolio and where bite splints stand in portfolio, where sleep appliances stand in the portfolio. This will be helpful to you to understand like why, for instance, we are not focusing. We do some marketing, right? Because we have RXs, we have cross-sell opportunities, catalogs, RX books and such, where we see, for instance, PlaySafe and some other preventive care product, but why we are not focusing on them more than we are on bite splints. So when we look at the bite splints portfolio and actually the preventive care portfolio, in terms of a revenue, it's 14%. So that's second or third second largest portfolio in Glidewell after restorative. So we have restorative, preventive, and then we have dentures and partials. And there is a data somewhere in between. But in that portfolio specifically, you see in terms of revenue, bite splints account for over 70%. We have sleep retainers pretty much the same, and then migraine. Don't be alarmed that this will change. Because we will work more on this product, advertise more, put more marketing efforts, and then mouthguard. But nevertheless, again, similarly to Braxer. So even though the portfolio, as you can see, against forecast, we went a little bit down, but when you compare to 2021, we had a very nice double-digit growth. And then looking at the active accounts, so those are, so of the 57,000 Glidewell customers in 2021, how many of them prescribed? So you can see this is where the power of the preventive care portfolio comes to us. So it's a whooping number to see 40,000 or 47,000 dentists. So that's 70-80% of all Glidewell active customers have something to do with preventive care, and you see the number for bite splints. So again, the smaller sales doesn't translate into lesser product. Actually, this is probably our, together with Braxer, our most important product. And we also see some opportunity for growth. The opportunity for growth, again, will be with migraine, also retainers. Hopefully, I will have some more to talk about them in Q2. Looking at the new accounts, so this number is also pretty encouraging. So what that tells you is that because bite splint are such low risk product, right? Then we have pretty good chance to attract new customer through the bite splints. Same story very much for Restart. So our number one product category responsible for instance, and kind of like similar story as you can see. We had a nice chunk of new customers last year comparing the previous year, and with Restart similar story to Braxer when we saw fewer Restart customers. You can also look at the trend for even better visualization. And then cross-sell. So even though we still have the makeup in the portfolio for active accounts is huge, but you see still there is a movement in the portfolio, and that movement is thanks to the variety. So we have 3 night guards. So of course, Comfort Hard Soft accounts for 60%. Then we have 20% Clear Sprint, and then the newest one, Comfort 3D. So you will see that even though portfolio is large and already lots of doctors interact with it, but still there is a more opportunity to move doctors from or have increased share of wallet from them, additional products for, have Comfort Hard Soft Doctor also prescribe Comfort 3D for their digital cases, or Clear Sprint for a more customized product. And this concludes the presentation. So if there are any questions.